This video is sponsored by Squarespace. This is my favorite cup. Even though I have tons of mugs made by myself and my pottery friends, I always gravitate towards this handmade cup that I thrifted a few years ago. I don't even know what it says. I think it's Swedish, I'm guessing, and maybe something to do with kayaking. I'm hoping one of you guys can tell me what it means. So why do I love it? It's the perfect size for a cup of coffee, in my opinion. And it's just so comfy. It fits perfectly in my hands, and it's just like really cozy to hold. I don't know, it's a feeling. Anyway, I really want to see if I can recreate this perfect mug. And I want to show you how, in case there's a mug that you own that you want to clone too. So normally I'm a lot more loosey-goosey with clay weights and measurements, proportions, things like that. But with this one, since I'm trying to create it as similar to this pot as possible, I first wedged up 3 different clay weights so I can figure out like how much clay this pot will need. And now I'm going to do some measurements. The other thing I need to factor in is clay shrinkage. So my clay shrinks about 10%. So I need to measure this precisely and then add 10% onto that and throw to those dimensions. The other thing that will come in handy is these guys. These are calipers to measure the width. Okay, so this is really interesting. The top and the bottom are exactly the same width, which I guess makes sense for it to seem like really nicely proportional. And then the waist of the mug is just 1 centimeter thinner than the top and the bottom. So that's like a really subtle curve. That's just a change of 0.5 centimeter. And then this, let's see how wide you are. This is just 2 millimeters wider than the base. So like, it's gonna be tricky because all these differences are very subtle. So I'm going to have to really figure out how I do that. Okay, so next step is to add 10%. Okay, so I got my measurements. I'm just gonna put them down on the ground so I can refer to them while I'm throwing. I think I'll start with the lowest amount of clay. I'm thinking like, I want this to be as light as possible. So if I can get the shape the way I want it in 400 grams, great. But I kind of doubt it. I got a good feeling about 500 grams. Just a little, that's it. Easy as that. So 500 grams is it. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor. You know them, you love them, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that artists and entrepreneurs use to stand out and succeed online. I've been using Squarespace ever since I started my online business because it has incredibly easy to use features, including their drag and drop website builder and integrated SEO tools. Whether you're just starting out or managing a thriving brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful websites to sell anything from physical products to memberships, digital products, and even services. You can also schedule appointments, create on-brand invoices, and send newsletters. And for the artists watching, you will love their cutting-edge design tools, where you can create a bespoke website that perfectly fits your brand or business. So head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/potterytothepeople for 10% off your very first website or domain. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, what do we think? So this is the first one. This one is just too thin. It was too little clay. This, I feel like, is just right. Like obviously it's proportionally bigger. That's the point because it's gonna shrink, right? So I feel like I got that subtle curve. A little bulb at the bottom, this subtle curve in the coziness factor. It's the cozy factor. Now, the main goal here is to do this without having to measure each little step. So what I think I'm gonna do, like what normally happens, what I hope happens, is that when you make a certain shape, like a handful of times, you get that muscle memory for the shape, so you don't need to constantly use the calipers, do the measuring. And I wanna make, I don't know, maybe 10 of these mugs, just so I can sort of like perfect the shape, and I have something to trim and handle tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ta-da! So I threw 12, but I ended up with 10. Oh, bless this guy. So I have 11, and honestly, like this one, for example, I might squish. I'm not sure. Some of them are perfect. So we're gonna focus on that, I guess. Some of them are really great, and some of them are but I think they're close enough. So what I'm going to do now is let them dry out overnight, and then tomorrow we can trim them. And then the other little tricky kind of make or break facet of this mug is the handle. This is a completely different handle to any handle that I've ever made before. I really like it, so I'm really excited to try it. I believe it's pulled, and then they sort of like rounded the edges somehow and, you know, stuck it on. I don't know how they made this handle. But we're gonna try pulling it, I guess, tomorrow. We shall see. Good morning. I think these are a little on the wet side still. Plan for the day is to trim them and handle them. And I'm not worried about the trimming. The trimming should be no problem at all, but I am worried about this handle. I still don't have a plan. I'm gonna try and pull it. We shall see. Okay, I just wanna do like a super basic trim on these. Simple flat bottom mugs here. Hello. Obviously I didn't clean up. Should I get my Giffen grip out? Is that worth it? I always just like forget that I have it, TBH. So this is the Giffen Grip Mini, in case you don't know. I did do a review on this a while ago. Okay. Okay, they're trimmed. That took pretty much no time at all. I do want to say, like, I always hesitate to use specialty tools on this channel, like the Giffen Grip Mini, because you absolutely don't need this tool, especially because it's quite a pricey tool, but it is handy. It did speed up the process of trimming these pots a lot. You absolutely don't need it. Honestly, most of the pots I still trim with the little squishies. That said, let's get to making handles, which I can't really procrastinate anymore. The thing about this handle, it's a very thin, round handle, which is just very different than the handles I usually make. My handles usually are quite flat. As an example, like this one, which, can you tell I was inspired by this mug ages ago already? But this is a very classic handle that I make. It's very thin and flat. That's just kind of what my hands do when I'm pulling a piece of clay. But let's try and make it more round. My strategy is to spend just as much time doing this side as this side. Not the best at pulling handles, let's be honest. There's gonna be like a level to this that's like good enough, you know? That's what it's gonna be. So if you can see, it's like a C, right? So normally I don't do that. Normally I just have the curve on the top and then a flat bottom, the curve up and then straight down. So this is like quite a bend. I don't know. We're good. Like this. I just pushed it against the table. This is too small in proportion, so it needs to be longer. Let's try for 15 centimeters. I'm just gonna tap the end, and then it should be good. I'm just gonna squish it in. I'm like afraid to let it dry like this because this is gonna keep sagging. I'm gonna let it dry in a little bed here. I feel like these are just a little on the thin side. I don't want it to feel too dainty. I wonder if the move is to like let them dry out a little bit like this. I feel like that's what one should do. Okay, all of our pots are handled. I don't know how I feel right now because I feel like mine are clunkier than the inspo pot. But I also don't know exactly what the difference is. I can't figure it out. I feel like I need to finish them and then I'll be able to figure out the problem. Or I finish them and they look perfect. We see. So for now, what I do with any pot that I'm adding a connection to, whether it be a handle or something else, is I wrap it in plastic for 24 hours. Even though they're completely done, I'm just gonna wrap it in plastic. This allows for the water levels within the pot to homogenize. Right now the handle is really wet and the pot is drier. So when you wrap them in plastic, they all sort of become the same wetness, dryness. And I'll also sign them tomorrow as well. Hello. Our mugs are bisqued. And I gotta say, the shape is kind of growing on me. We are going to apply the cobalt now, and I'm going to apply the cobalt before I glaze it. So I've got my little thing of cobalt. You can buy cobalt from any pottery supplies manufacturer. Cobalt oxide, that is. Applying cobalt is pretty easy. I used to do this a lot, actually. If I'm brave enough, I'll post some pictures of my old work. I used to do a lot of painting with cobalt. Do you guys have that? Like, I don't know, 6 months after I make something, I'm like, I can't look at my whole work. It's like totally cringe. But yeah, I used to do this a lot. The tricky thing about cobalt, you mix it with water, and the tricky thing about it is it doesn't like, it's sort of, you're painting with, how do I describe it? It sort of feels like you're painting with wet sand. That's the best way I can describe it. Maybe you'll be able to see as I'm painting. But I'm gonna pour some in this little thing here, and I'm gonna try not to make it poof up too much because you don't really want to inhale this stuff. So it looks black, but I swear to God, it's going to be blue. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. I'm gonna say like 1 tablespoon of cobalt to 2 tablespoons of water, maybe 3, something like that. You can eyeball it. I don't know if you can see, but like the cobalt doesn't really suspend itself. Like, even if I mix it up, it's just kind of like, it doesn't become like a paint, which makes it a little bit tricky to work with. But, I don't know. Just kind of got to do it. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna write on this thing. So you can write on with pencil, that's just gonna burn off in the kiln. This is gonna be my practice one though, because I haven't worked with cobalt in a long time. Something like that. It's so hard to tell with cobalt what things are gonna look like. You also can't erase with cobalt, which is freaking annoying. Like no matter how much you scrub out the bisque, you're never gonna get that stain out. Cobalt is like really strong. Ta-da! What am I gonna do on the back? Some of them are a little messy. I tried my best. That's just going to make them more unique. Each one is its very own thing. I think they're gonna look cute. Let's head over to the glazing room. You know what I just realized? I'm not positive that cobalt turns blue with transparent glaze. Because normally I was using it over white or under white. I'm just assuming it's gonna turn blue. Is it gonna turn blue? Okay. Let's do it. Okay, let's open the kiln. Cross your fingers. What the heck? These are so fun and silly. I know this design is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know that. All of you, very sophisticated pottery lovers out there, this is not a sophisticated kind of pot, but I think it's so cute and funny. Like, I love this stupid little naive drawing that I made on the bags. They're so silly. And the irony of calling this the perfect mug, it just tickles something in my brain. I can't describe it. I don't know if I'm gonna be completely alone on this. I think this is such a fun collection. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anyone else likes them besides me. I feel a little self-conscious about this collection because it is so kind of naive and childish, but it makes me happy. Okay, friends, that's it for me today. I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.